Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Snap again. So let's get started. First drill, take your gun, practice sprint position, smoothly bring it up to where you're on target, and you want to make that just natural as far as by the time your gun's up, you're already on sight. You don't want to have your gun up and then find your target. Okay, so do that, and then once you get it, start speeding up a little bit, as long as you maintain seeing that red dot or that holographic sight. As long as you have that on the target, it doesn't have to be perfect. And in fact, the faster you go, the worse it's going to get. But that allows you to snap onto the target from a sprint to the target. Once you do that, I want you to start shooting. So when you come up, just your focus should be where you hit the target, where you're aiming. That's nice. Alright, I like that. I feel like you're getting faster. That's pretty good. So that's a drill, and you can practice on this all day long, but that's your most basic drill, is can I get my gun up from a sprint
faster
onto the target faster than they can. The next thing we're going to work on is what you were doing just a little bit earlier, switching between targets. But instead of going from a sprint to like an ADS, we'll say, you're going to start ADS and just go one at a time and just be smooth with it. Try to keep them all black. You can go slow, and then if you feel like you're hitting all your targets, start speeding it up a little bit. You want to be continuous, so...
Oh, okay, I didn't know if you want me to...
That's kind of the challenge with these drills, is your speed to your accuracy. If you start missing shots, slow it back down. Take your time. There you go, that's it. Nice job. What that's doing is it's practicing snapping between shots. And that's in case you're running and you run into multiple people. To make this harder, move up close to the targets. Reason why is you have to turn your body a lot more up close, versus if you want to make it easier, well, maybe easier, move back to when you come over here, you're only moving your body a couple inches. And this might be if you're like across the map and they're running on the hills and you see 3 out there, you want to practice taking a burst. Oh, I missed one. But you want to practice taking a burst at that distance, being more finesse versus up close, moving your entire body. This next one we're going to talk about is target fixation. One thing that happens with a lot of new players is they'll be shooting at somebody, maybe they're behind cover, you got an LMG, so you're just laying fire down, and then somebody else runs around the corner, you don't see them, and you get shot. For this drill, we're going to work on your target A. You're going to just be unloading on it, and then you're going to take a short burst on a target B, and then come back to shooting at A. So what that looks like is fire, burst, fire. Okay? And the reason behind this is you want to be focused on A, but you want to be quickly able to break contact with A, few rounds into B, and then come back to A. One thing about this drill is you want to be unloading, so no burst, full auto, drown it in bullets.
Okay, so just drown it?
Yeah. Alright, not bad. So you can get away with that as an LMG gunner. But if you go to rifleman and you use a rifle or SMG or anything other than a belt-fed machine gun, you want to stop shooting in between targets.
Okay.
So in your transition, don't shoot. With that though, you've got all the bullets in the world. That's fine. Just know if you're practicing with any rifle, anything like that, stop shooting between targets. Let's talk about taking corners. And we'll talk about pieing off the door. over here. Let's say this is a complete wall. We can't see through this. There's somebody defending and holding a position right here, hugged against the wall. All right. Your job is to clear them out.
Okay.
And so the way we'll do this, since there'll be a lot of respawning, is the defender will say set. When they're set, the attacker will say ready, and then that's it. No more communication until after they come around the corner and one person dies.
Set.
All right, ready. All right, what did I do?
You literally quickly, as soon as right here, you instantly ran across and killed me.
Mm-hmm. So, you're chilling. What did I break down? What I did when I came around the corner? So the macro level is I came around and shot you. What was the micro level? What are some details that I did that made me not get shot?
You were quick. You were precise. You were accurate. You were able to quickly do it without me being able to react quick enough, so I'd be able to pick up my gun and then shoot.
Okay, that's good. So one thing I was good on was coming from a sprint position to immediately having, my gun on target. So I practiced that first drill of just sprint to shoot, and I was able to be really fast with that. The second thing I did, and we talked about this with the 3 drills of snapping to targets. One thing, though, is I said you can make it more difficult by increasing the spacing or decreasing the spacing. If you think about where we're at in this position here, we're really close together. And so what makes it hard for you is you have to move your entire body. If I was to come right here, you wouldn't have to move at all. What I did, though, is I came all the way out. You'd have to move a 45 to catch me. And as I was moving out, I was turning in. So I had a lot more time. I made you have to move more. Yeah. So we're going to change it up. I want you to practice creating that space. Make me have to shift my aim. Okay?
All right.
And then also work on snapping from a sprint to a target. And it won't be a full, you're not going to have your reticle on me, but just understand kind of where you want your muzzle to be to get me.
All right.
Okay. So I'm set.
All right.
One thing I do want to point out is you didn't go wide enough. You cut in like this. You don't need to go towards me. You just need to make me change my holding. Okay. So.
All right.
I'm set. That's good though. You made me look the other way. So that's where those drills come into play as far as, sprint position, ADS. This is an example of one example where that's helpful. Another example is if we just run and turn the corner and see somebody, immediately go to them. Okay. And then 2, the distance aspect. So if you're really far away, you can take things slow. You have time, and you only have to move a little bit. If you're really close together, you want to create that distance to make them have to adjust more. Okay?
All right.
So that was from an attacking perspective. Let's talk about how we can use the drills on a defending perspective. Okay? What's some things, because if somebody is coming here fast, they're making you shift aim and shooting you, what's something you can do as a defender to maybe give you more time?
Probably not pre-fire, but sort of always keep a really close eye on what's around the corner, if that makes any sense, or kind of be ready for something and know when to move and be accurate and be quick about it.
Okay, so let's go with that be ready statement. Would I be more ready if I had my muzzle directly on this corner?
Like this?
I'd
say probably.
Okay. So Do you want to go ahead and try that?
Sure.
All right. Let me know. And we're just going to let you run defense. I'm going to come around and attack like I have been doing. You already know what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm going to be consistent about it. Say set, and then I'll say ready.
Set.
Ready. That was pretty good. So, what did you have to do to kill me? Think about that.
I was being ready because I knew you were coming, but I also kind of led my muzzle a little bit more closer to, like, not the wall, but like away from the wall in case you were running.
Nice. That's it. All right, let's respawn and talk through that. That's good. All right, share with me what you did. So, were you aiming right here?
No, I was aiming like right here.
Right here. Awesome. So what that is that's creating an offset from the wall. If you expect somebody to come around fast, now this will bite you in the butt if they come around slow, but most times people go at a normal pace. You don't have to shift as much. That was good. Another thing you did is I noticed you didn't come around the corner right here. You created distance. And so what does that also do?
I mean, it makes me more prepared if I can maybe see them a bit better right here, or if they're coming running out, I don't have to sort of shift as much to see them.
Yes. So it doesn't require as much time to shift. We talked about it can make it easier from those targets. If you're further back, you're only moving an inch or two to change that far of distance. And so even though you only moved 4 feet, you created a significant distance that went from maybe 5 feet to 10 now. So you took your time, your angle that you had to move, you reduced it by half, and you already had an offset. So you didn't have to move that much, did you?
No, I didn't have to.
Nice job. So final thing we'll do, and this drill focuses on the target fixation drill. Let's come over here. Let's talk about pawing off the door. So the first thing you should be doing is when you come up, you should have your reticle just on the inside of the door frame. And when you're going, you want to be turning to where you keep your reticle on the inside of the door frame. You know, unless you have a second door there, then pie that off too. But just focus like this is a blank room, and just keep pawing off until you see that close corner completely. If you have your reticle here, and you're coming around, and you notice there's a gap between where you're aiming and the door, that means you're not turning fast enough. Okay?
Okay.
So as you're moving, you need to be turning more. If the opposite happens, you find that you're outside the door frame aiming at the wall as you're moving, that means you're not moving fast enough, and you need to pick it up to stay with your rotation or slow down how much you're turning. You have a gap between the door and your reticle, that means you're not turning fast enough to clear the room, you need to slow down. Or if you have your reticle on the outside of the door, the wall, that means you're turning way too fast. You either need to move faster or slow down how much you're turning. Cool. Most people do the gap thing though. Most people are really fast on moving but slow on turning. And that's partially why they get target fixation, and they'll just stare at this wall. That's what happens. Yeah, so start from this wall over here on our right, and then work your way over to the left until you can see me. Nice. Okay. When I saw you, I also saw your muzzle, so that was good. Next thing we're going to work on, and this is when we came to the target fixation drill, we're going to both pie off this door from opposite ends. I'm going to be inside and come out. You're going to be over here and come around. Whenever we see each other, we're going to shoot like we did over there. So we're going to do the ready,
Okay, so it's
set, go, and on
Set.
go, we'll go.
ready.
Set, go. All right, so one thing I want to
That
point
time
out is you shot here, and then you shot here. Your second shot, though, when you came outside the door, that means you're moving a little bit faster, and you're rotating faster than you're moving. And so what happens here is we have a green smoke, we have a red smoke. and I'll draw this on the board too, this might be easier. You're both coming around. There is a point where you meet, and then you'll cross. Does that make sense? So if you're pieing off, there's a point where you'll see me, and if you keep pieing, you'll go past me. What you need to do is break that pieing mindset or concentration, because it takes work to think about coming around here. You want to break that and snap back to me. Okay, so you're concentrated. You don't have to be firing for it. You can if you want. Break that concentration, engage the new target, and then snap back to what you were doing. Okay? All right, run it back one more time.
Ready.
Set, go. This has just been on the mechanical side and where you might use it in game, about what we covered today.
All right.
So as far as your mechanics, let's go through them again. So first one was working on snapping the target vertically. Second one, snapping the targets horizontally. Okay, so that's those targets. And again, the main purpose behind training this mechanic is to, don't think about it. You don't want to think about aiming. You want to think about something else. You might want to think about where you're going or where you want to go to or the code. Tons of things going on in a match. You don't want to have to think about, where am I aiming? Okay. Third drill over here. Target fixation. Focusing fire, your concentration on this target. Taking a pause. Quickly shooting this target.
Going after the second target.
Coming back. Okay. This can appear in a number of different ways in game. Like, for example, pieing the door. You're focused on pieing the door. Oh crap, somebody popped out. Let me shift to them and come back. Or it could also be you're suppressing somebody who's hiding behind a box. Their teammate runs around the building. You want to snap to their teammate and then go back to them. Okay?
Yeah.
What I want you to do now, before we go over like anything else, I want you to take like a week and just play some games. Enjoy, Onward. It's a very fun game. Practice these things, okay? Practice snapping to your targets. Practice engaging multiple targets. You'll find, if you run around, a lot of people like to stick together, so practice those snaps. Okay. Practice pieing off doors. Okay. Just get some time under your belt doing these things, building up your skills. If you find that, you're getting frustrated or it's not working, come back to the shooting range, slow it down, take your time, be smooth about engaging your targets.